Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today. This Elevenses episode is about Google Ads for a small business. I am Paula Giro, Agency Account Strategist for the UK market.
And my name is Simone, Account Strategist for the UK market as well.
So when we started preparing this episode, an anecdote from my childhood came to my mind. So I remember when I was a child, as soon as I had any coins, I used to run to the sweet shop, throw the coins on the till and ask Maria to give me as many candies as I could afford. My brother instead, he preferred to save these coins to get as much as it was necessary for that big chocolate that he liked so much. What was the best strategy? We will find out in the end of the episode. But what we know is that with a small business, every coin counts, especially because it is less budget, meaning less data and less resources. So today we aim to present the strategies to consolidate your data and reach your targets. Ready to start?
Perfect. So far, smaller businesses have faced many roadblocks, from increasing the competition, increasing advertising costs, increasing the CPC. And these are just to mention some of the problems that they are facing at the moment. And today we will aim to give solutions to these problems and show the latest product releases and the latest features on how to overcome this problem. So the agenda for today is build your campaigns. That is, we will show the new findings and latest trends and how these depict ideal account structures defined for the users. Best practices and recommended solutions, that is the latest product releases and how this will help your clients to go dark on underperforming auctions. Last but not least, budgeting tips, that is how to leverage Google Ads to open a successful channel of communication with your clients. Let's see how account structures can bring an improvement for smaller businesses or smaller accounts. So what we have to, first of all, is worth to look backwards to understand why Google Ads is now one of the largest advertising platforms in the world. So the user in Google Ads is what really matters, and the user is what really matters for Google in general. And a user, by definition, is unpredictable and elusive. In this section, we will try to show how a performance-based structure can help smaller businesses to compete with the big players. We need to take it from the shift that is happening right now, and a shift that not everybody is taking advantage of. Users are becoming more and more demanding, expecting every result to give them a satisfactory answer to their needs every time they look for something on Google. So, for example, why a few years back we were thinking in near me terms, the Google algorithm is now taking into account the user location to show relevant results when the intent is to find a shop or a service nearby. Hence, a management based on search intent and queries become far more effective as well as complex. If we also consider that 15% of search queries on Google are new every day, we can use these for smaller businesses. We can take advantage of new search queries to catch the user at a lower price, and we can compete with the big national players that often utilize most common search terms. Now, how this shift is going to have an impact on the structure of smaller businesses. While a few years back we were looking to split the data with the aim to define the best mix for our clients, nowadays we are looking at moving our efforts towards the client management instead. Simplify your account structure is then a must. Granular account structures aren't necessary, as the new smart solution utilizes account level data, meaning that data consolidation becomes a preferable approach. Also, as we will see later, the latest machine learning technologies are far more effective and precise than before, and the same level of data we used to get in the past is now available through customizable reports in your accounts. Here on this slide we have an example of how a simplified structure looks like. We have one campaign at the top, you can see on the left hand side, several ad groups for the sub products, and don't forget the dynamic search ads to capture new search queries. And don't forget long tail keywords and broader search terms to compete with the national players. On the right hand side we have a few principles to keep in mind. Just to read some: base your campaign on objectives so that the account optimization will become easier and faster. Avoid campaigns that are limited by budget, and add audience lists to give the system more data for future optimization.
So a simple account structure is the first step to data consolidation. But in practice, what are the solutions designed to accomplish this goal? Let's have a look on the recommended solutions. So we are going to assume that are quite familiarized with the Google products, and we will highlight the benefits in terms of data consolidation for a small business. We will start with responsive search ads. As mentioned, consumers today are more curious, demanding, and impatient than ever before. They expect a custom-to-needs message at the right time. So on one hand, one creative cannot fit all solutions, and on the other hand, we don't have the budget to have tons of ads with all the variants. That's why Elevenses are a great solution for you, since you can target multiple users' profiles within one ad. So the variants could be quality, price, delivery speed, etc. Although you have 15 headlines with a limited budget, we would recommend you to have from 5 to 7 headlines and all the 4 descriptions. Another challenge is to capture all the meaningful keywords with a limited budget, especially if we consider that 50% of the searches we see on google.com are brand new every single day, which is quite a lot. So DSA capture incremental traffic without adding more keywords. So you know how it works. So DSAs crawls your website to match the query to the content on the site and to fill in the gaps in your keywords-based campaigns. It also generates an ad with customized headlines, and the user is automatically directed to the most relevant landing page. And what about the visual format? So GDN includes more than 3 million partners inventory because we don't have millions of pounds to do all these ads testing. With responsive display ads, you provide the creative assets and the machine learning does the rest. It uses your historical performance data and the user's activity across all Google platforms to do this creative testing. So again, it selects the right asset to the right person and in the right time. So it is especially good if you have limited budget and resources. You can provide your own images, but if you don't have them, you can use stock images for free. I come from creative department, and believe me, even blue chip companies use stock images and videos for their online campaigns. To have more brand look and feel, let's say, you can use the custom colors features, and you can also use the CTA to drive action. And why should we combine the smart creatives with the smart bidding?
Now, with smart creatives, we can target the relevant user with the right mix of assets. With smart bidding instead, we can win the right auction to have this double layer of filtering so that your account will keep performing. Now, for those who are not familiar with smart bidding, smart bidding strategies is something that we can take advantage of in Google Ads, and are bid strategies directed to serve different purposes. So target CPA will aim you to give conversion for a selected cost per acquisition. Maximize conversions will help you to maximize the conversion volume at any given price, etc., etc. And there has been a revolution in the last few months, so that something that wasn't available in the past is now possible. So let's see how more specifically. With manual or third-party bidding, we're telling Google Ads that you want to show up for every single auction at a given cost per click, despite the conversion potential. This is inefficient for smaller businesses because they don't have the monetary margin to take this risk. Smart bidding, in conjunction with smart creatives instead, allow your clients to go dark on low-performing auctions and make the most out of every penny. Now, so far it was crucial that smart bidding had big data volume to use for real-time bid management. But today, with the latest improvements, the major bid strategies can deliver despite the smaller data volume. In fact, smart bidding will now use signals across the whole account in real time for bid management, removing the data gate and making the whole optimization more efficient and also faster for smaller businesses. As you can understand, the data consolidation process is taking shape. However, it's not really fully completed. We're missing a couple of things that Paula here will have a couple of more things to say.
Yes, to finalize, we have some other features that will help you to consolidate your data. So first we have attribution model. So it gives the system fractional data for faster account optimization. Second, we have conversion actions, grow conversion actions. So you don't want to only focus on your main KPIs. You should also add secondary KPIs as conversion actions and assign a value. So the system will have more insights to optimize your campaigns. And third, grow your audiences. So we know that remarketing list is your most valuable audience, But also you can make the best of Google's data using similar audiences, in-market and custom intent audiences. Now we know how to structure the campaigns and the best products to use. Let's see how we can start the budget talk with our clients. We hear this type of objection so many times. So like the client will increase the budget, expand to visual ads and optimize the mobile site. But first we need to prove results. And these results are normally keep on reducing the CPA year on year, increase the conversion rate and reduce the bounce rate. Let's start with the CPA reduction year on year and with one example. So let's imagine that you have a puppy. It is January, cost of life increased due to inflation. You go to the supermarket and the dog's food price increased. Then you say, until the price goes down, I won't buy any food. Well, I wouldn't like to be your puppy. If we check this vertical trends report, we can see that the CPC and the competition increase, meaning that your CPAs will increase as well. So we either consider what the market can offer to us or we might be out of the market very soon. Good news is that the market always presents good opportunities. As we can see here, mobile is the only device increasing in queries, impression and clicks, and the CPCs are much more competitive. That will help to balance out the end results. So, especially with a limited budget, allocate it where the market is giving you good opportunities.
But how can we forecast these opportunities to our client? How can we show the potential impact of a change in the investments? We can do that by using Performance Planner, a tool that is available in every Google Ads account that allows advertisers to understand how changes in the account will affect their performance in real time. How does it work? Very easily, you just need to type your quarterly, monthly or yearly objectives. That can be conversions, clicks or return on investment. Then the tool will automatically tell you whether or not you will manage to achieve it with the current settings. If that doesn't happen, you have the opportunity to change bits and bolts and see how the forecast changes as well. So now you can think ahead of the game and work with your client to achieve better results. Something similar can also be done with visual formats. That is display or YouTube, and the tool is a Rich Planner, again available in every Google Ads account. To summarize what the topics that we covered today, the key takeaways are: build your campaigns with the user in mind, and these we have seen in the first section. Automate to drive efficiency and effectiveness and make every penny count. Leverage Google data and planning tools to work with your client and be ahead of the game. So Paola, to finalize the episode, I'm curious to know something more about the anecdote that you mentioned at the beginning.
Yeah, sure. So now we went through the all best practices. We might have some clues, but let's revise it. So in one hand we had me who was running to get as many sweets as I could afford. And then in the other hand, it was my brother who was hiding the coins and saving for that big chocolate. So how did it end up? So when my brother had the full amount for that chocolate, different variants could happen. So A, he went to buy the chocolate, but he didn't have that chocolate that day. So it could be like these bigger competitors that take your bite. B, the chocolate was a bit more expensive, so he had to save for longer. Could be like inflation or any other market fluctuations. C, I found the coins, went to the state shop and spent it in the sweets that I shared with him, but he didn't approve the spend. It could be like these offline account directors that use the budget before. We know about that. And D, he could get the chocolate, although that happened 25% of the times. In my case, I wasn't being so picky, so I could get like any promotions and mix of different chocolates, sweets and candies. Well, in other words, I could eat more sweets. And you, what would you do with your coins? Thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining.